Hi, this is the video log and podcast for Zimmer and Peacock for the week starting the 19th of October 2020. So every week we do a quick, podcast and video log about everything that we've done in that week. And we generally put this out on the Sunday, but then this is a summary of what's happened in the week. And it's been a really busy week this week because, in fact, we had what's called an ISO 13485 audit. So ISO 13485 means that you're kind of officially certified to be able to work in the medical space. In particular, our ISO 13485 is regarding the contract development and contract manufacturing of biosensors and electrochemical biosensors. It's very specific, and it should be specific because at Zimmer and Peacock, we don't try to say that we do absolutely everything. We try to say that we're trying to be the world's best contract developer and contract manufacturer of electrochemical biosensors and in vitro diagnostics. And so we put that on the blog that we had our audit, and it was really nice because we passed with really flying colors. And it's big credit to our quality manager and her team. And then, a lot of the program managers and engineers and scientists at Zimmer and Peacock really helped out. Everyone came together. And I think the auditor was really impressed. So that went really well. So delighted with that. Now, the other thing that happened this week, we've been talking for a while that we've been opening up this facility in London. We've had a couple of key employees in London for quite some time, but we wanted to have a lab so we could start expanding the UK group. We already have a lab in we have a lab in the Midlands in the UK, and we were just increasing the lab, the capacity by having this lab in London specifically there. So we took hold of the keys, and the guy started putting all the ZP kit in there. So we were happy with that. We are also now ZP has a developer zone. We call it the ZP developer zone. I might even just bring it up just very quickly for those who are maybe watching the video. So we have a developer zone. Every week we have webinars. We're very active at trying to collaborate with our developers. And so we have a very nice collaboration with one of our developers called Dr. Wadana. And Abril was giving a talk this week to one of Indonesia's veterinary science groups, and he was talking about a parasite called Trypanosoma avanci. And Trypanosoma avanci is a parasite that unfortunately can lead to a disease that's called Surra disease. And so he was talking about to that group about the development of an electrochemical sensor for detecting that parasite. So we were happy with that. Now, some other news from this week is now at Zimmer and Peacock, we do sensors for human health, but we also do sensors for example, soil monitoring. So we've had a big program on for quite some time for measuring the nitrate in soil. And so we've just kind of put a little note out there at the moment that we're quite interested in finding people who are interested in beta testing these modules. So if you know people who are interested in measuring the nitrate in soil in a continuous manner, then maybe point them towards Zimmer and Peacock. That would be really useful. Now, the nitrate in soil is an example of continuous measurement. And so at Zimmer and Peacock, a lot of what we do is around continuous measurement. And so I just mentioned nitrate in soil, but we're also been talking about condition monitoring. Now, in the maintenance departments in some companies, and especially in production and stuff, they want to monitor their equipment. They want to make sure that their equipment is operating correctly. So they'll have a large piece of equipment running in the factory, for example, and they might measure the temperature of the machine, the vibration of the machine, maybe the power consumption of the machine. but they're not necessarily monitoring chemical parameters. Now at Zimmer & Peacock, we like to make robust chemical type sensors. And so we just put a little note out there that said, that we think with our conductivity sensor, we can measure the oil or the lubricants that are used in machines, and potentially even monitor the fuel. So condition monitoring is an important industrial process and science, and people are looking at a lot of conditions around machines, but they're not looking at the chemical conditions associated with machines. And at Zimmer & Peacock, we think we're really well placed to do that. And then the last thing I'm going to just mention is, so when people buy technology off us, for example, like a sort of generation 1 glucose sensor, Zimmer & Peacock, we always stand behind our products and we try to help clients with them. So this week, we did an online video for one of our clients. They were in the call with us. We made a video out of it where we showed them, this is one of the generation 1 glucose sensors. This is how to put the sensor into a buffer. And then we explained to them that, the first thing you need to do is actually just get some good looking data so that that your setup is good and everything is good. And so we explained to them how to set up the experiment. We explained to them how to do all the parameters in the software. We then literally did a live video for them, and we explained, look, you have the sensor in a buffer, you let the sensor stabilize for something like 100 seconds, and then you add in a small volume of very concentrated glucose solution, and the sensor will change accordingly. Its signal will change. And so we kind of literally did it for them and said, watch the signal, and then it would jump up, and then our engineer added some more glucose and the signal jumped up a bit more, and then he added some more glucose and the signal jumped up. So he showed them, this is what the signal looks like at the beginning when it's just 0 millimolar. Then it comes up because I've added in for a bit for 5 millimolar, and then he added a bit more and he got to 10 millimolar, and then he added a bit more and he got to 15 millimolar, and then he added a bit more and he got to 20 millimolar, and eventually he added enough and he got to 25 millimolar. And so if you're following on with the video log, you can see all that in action. And it's quite a useful video to actually have a look at. It's just sort of, you have to kind of get that kind of data quality before you can start going on to do development itself. So if I just going to summarize this week, really a big effort from the team around ISO 13485. Still we're growing, and we have got the keys to our London lab, and we're kitting it out. Our developer zone is doing really healthy, and some of our developers now, or some of our collaborators, are starting to talk about their work in public, or more in public. The nitrate sensor program is going on really well, and we want to find beta testers for that. We are now interested in stepping into condition monitoring, especially the monitoring of the lubricants and the fuels associated in condition monitoring. And at ZP, if you're a client and you buy some of our products and you get a little bit stuck with them, I won't worry, because I think the glucose experiment that we showed on our website this week, where we did a live demo for the client and they were able to follow along, or they were able to at least see what we were doing. That's the kind of rigor that we give to helping our clients. So as I say, that's the news from Zimmer & Peacock for the week starting the 19th of October 2020. Please, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact us. Okay, thanks very much.